A shocker in the NBA last night as the Lakers and Hornets deal that would have sent Mark Williams to LA has been rescinded. But now fans are asking who's to blame. Is this the Lakers' fault, the Hornets' fault, or perhaps someone else? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel and turn on those notifications as well. So the proposed deal would have sent big man Mark Williams to the Lakers in exchange for Dalton, Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 unprotected first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap. That's quite a bit of draft capital for the oft-injured big man, which has led some fans to suggest that the Lakers should have known that Mark Williams would have had some things pop up on his physical and should have anticipated that heading into their deal. However, ultimately, the Lakers were the team to rescind the trade. This was not the Hornets deciding to call this deal off. Instead, it was the Lakers, after seeing the results of Williams' physical, saying that it was not physical. It was not failed due to his back, which he's had issues with in the past, but the Lakers saw multiple other issues and the team failed him on his exam. So first and foremost, one of the things to note here is this does not necessarily mean that Mark Williams is injured right now. The trade officially was initially notified. We were officially notified by the Lakers that the trade had been rescinded, and it was rescinded because the conditions of the deal were not met. And the conditions of the deal were they needed to send a healthy Mark Williams, but also a reasonably healthy Mark Williams into the future. And I think that's where this really lies. Mark Williams has been playing for the Hornets. This doesn't mean that there was an active injury that the Hornets simply ignored, played him anyway, and then tried to pawn him off on the Lakers. I've seen a number of people try to characterize it that way, that the Hornets were hiding an injury. The reporting suggested that the Hornets were the team that called the Lakers. Interesting, because the Hornets characterized it very differently in their somewhat passive-aggressive statement that they put out later. But Mark Williams may be healthy enough to play basketball right now, but what the Lakers are going to be looking for on that physical is they're going to look for how likely is it that he's going to have future problems. It's rumored to be part of the reason why the Lakers didn't draft Cam Whitmore a couple of years ago in the NBA draft, not because he was necessarily unhealthy to play right now, but because they had concerns about him into the future. It's the same reason why years and years ago, Andrew Bynum fell to the Lakers in the NBA draft, because teams recognized that he had knee issues and he probably wasn't going to have a particularly long NBA career. And as it turned out, that was right. His career ultimately was cut short due to injuries. So given how much the Lakers were giving up, they saw what was going on with Mark Williams. Whatever, we don't know as of this moment exactly what it was that they saw on the physical, but they noticed some things and started to question whether or not he was going to be able to continue a long career. When you're giving up the amount that I thought they overpaid for Mark Williams, when you're giving up that much, you have to feel like the guy that you're getting is going to be available for the long haul. As Ramona Shelburne put out there on X, teams don't like to cancel trades, especially those as significant as the Lakers-Charlotte trade for Mark Williams and Dalton Knecht, but LA gave up a lot to get Williams. They needed to feel confident he'd be healthy enough to be their starting center for the next 5 to 10 years. After a thorough evaluation of his health, they were not. So again, it wasn't that the Hornets were trying to send a currently injured player to the Lakers. In fact, though, the Hornets did fire back. Apparently, they come across as not being too pleased. I've seen a lot of Hornets fans who are upset. Look, Lakers fans are upset right now that the Lakers are now left essentially without a center on their roster. They just have Jackson Hayes as their starting five. Meanwhile, you've got Hornets fans who aren't happy. They were going to get a great return for a big man that has spent a lot of time injured in his first 3 NBA seasons. But then the Hornets issued this passive-aggressive statement. You don't see this very often from NBA teams. Clearly, the Hornets put some of the blame on the Lakers here for the situation. Listen to this. We are excited to welcome Mark back to our Hornets organization after the other team, I don't even want to use their name, the other team aggressively pursued Mark. We made the difficult decision to move him. We have always held great respect for Mark's talent, work ethic, and character. We are thrilled to see him rejoin our roster as a dynamic presence at the starting center position. His return strengthens our team, and we look forward to the impact he will make on and off the court. Well, do the Hornets care about strengthening their team this year? No, they are a tanking team at this point in the season. They're worried about ping pong balls. No, they can talk about moving forward. Mark Williams is under contract next season. But it is kind of funny that they're putting out there, no, we didn't want to trade Mark Williams. Not at all. The other team was just so aggressive. We finally just gave in and said, okay, fine, you can have him if you're really that desperate to get him. Characterizing it very differently than what we've seen in the past. The reporting had been prior to this had been that it was the Hornets who initiated the conversations with the Lakers, that they called LA after seeing that the Lakers needed a center, that the Lakers didn't even have Mark Williams on their list of available centers because they didn't think that he would necessarily be available. And the Hornets contacted the Lakers and said, hey, we see you need a center. Why don't we talk Mark Williams? They drove a hard bargain and got a great price for him. If I'm the Hornets, I'd be disappointed too. I thought they got incredible value, an unprotected 2031 pick. Who knows what things are going to look like that far out? So that could have been a very valuable draft asset in addition to the pick swap, and plus a 17th overall pick in Dalton Knecht, who has lived up to his draft capital and then some and really shown a lot of promise as a young player. So they were getting a lot here, and I've seen a lot of Hornets fans, like I said, who are upset about this, the fact that the trade is not going through. So is this on the Hornets? Is this on the Lakers ultimately? Well, the Lakers are the ones who called the deal off. They could have seen the physical and said, you know what, we're good with this stuff. We're good. This isn't 2K where you can't trade injured players. You can. Maxi Kleber is injured right now, was traded to the Lakers. As long as teams sign off on it and say, yeah, you know what, we know this dude's got a broken foot. We're still trading for him anyway. That's fine. You can do that. It's not that you can't trade injured players. You absolutely can. The Lakers, though, saw future stuff potentially coming on Mark Williams' physical. This does put the Hornets in a tough spot because now any other team they try to trade Mark Williams to is going to say, wait a minute, what's going on here with this guy really? There must be something that scared off the Lakers, especially given the situation that they're in right now. They have every reason to go through with the deal since now they've put themselves in a spot where they don't really have a center. So it must have been, well, aside from Jackson Hayes, no disrespect to Jackson Hayes, but let's face it, he's more of a backup five in today's NBA than a starter. So the Lakers had every reason to go through with this deal, especially to give Luka Doncic, LeBron James a chance to win right now. It must have been something significant for them to not go through with this. This puts the Hornets in a tough spot moving forward. So, of course, they're going to try to put a positive spin on it. That said, is it on the Lakers for not wanting to take a player that clearly has some health issues that they think will prevent him from being a productive player into the future? No, I mean, there's a reason why these protections are in place. And you may say, well, he's a Lakers homer and all that kind of stuff. But there's a reason why this is in place. This has happened before. It's rare, but it has happened before where a team sees something on a physical and says, nope, we do not want that. This is not what we thought we were getting when we decided to make this trade. It happened years ago with Tyson Chandler, long time ago. So this is not a new thing. It is rare, but this has happened. Now, is it on the Hornets? Were the Hornets trying to sell a lemon to the Lakers? Is that why the Hornets were so aggressive in contacting the Lakers and saying, hey, we see you need a center. What do you think? We haven't really been shopping Mark Williams, but just for you, we'll consider trading him. Were the Hornets trying to pull a fast one on the Lakers? The question is, what did they know about Mark Williams' future? What do they know about the injury report? What did they know already going in? And then what's their risk tolerance? It's possible the Lakers saw something that to them and their doctors was a big red flag and too much of a risk moving forward, where the Hornets doctors might see it and say, maybe that'll be a problem when he's 30 or something like that, but you got a long way till then. We're not going to worry about that situation. So I don't think we should rush to judgment and say the Hornets were trying to scam the Lakers here. I've seen a lot of that sentiment out there. Of course, I see a lot of Lakers fans commentary, but I've also seen commentary on the other side with the Hornets saying the Lakers knew that Mark Williams has had injury issues. Why wouldn't you just go ahead and trade for him? The reporting would suggest that it's not so much the injury issues that he's already had. The Lakers believed they can manage the issues that he's had so far. It's that they're concerned about future issues that the physical showed may be coming for the talented big man. So who is to blame here? Maybe it's a bit of a cop-out, but I think most likely nobody's to blame. I don't think anybody was trying necessarily to get out of the deal. I don't think the Hornets were trying to sell an injured player to the Lakers. If anybody is to blame, it would be the Hornets if they knew for sure that Mark Williams was going to be experiencing or is likely to be experiencing significant problems farther on into his NBA career. Maybe it was a degenerative knee condition, something like that. Again, we don't know what it is right now. The only way that we could put blame on the Hornets is if they knew for sure Mark Williams is going to have health problems somewhere in his career that's coming, and they told the Lakers the opposite. And they told them, oh, no, he has a clean bill of health. He's fine. Let's do this deal. And then we're just crossing their fingers that the Lakers didn't catch it. That's the only in that like dastardly scenario could I put blame on anybody. That the reason why in trades, the ability to rescind the deal based on a failed physical is to protect teams in this situation. So I don't blame the Lakers for taking that option, taking that out, given the amount they gave up. If they were getting a bargain of a deal, if they were, I don't know, it was Dalton Knecht and a second-round pick or something like that for Mark Williams, and there wasn't that future draft capital in there and everything, I could see where the Lakers would just say, you know what, he's healthy right now. Let's just go ahead and do it. But given how much future draft capital is involved here to get Mark Williams, it makes sense why they decided, you know what, we're not confident that he's going to be able to stay healthy, so we're going to go ahead and call this, and we'll move forward and try to figure something else out. Now they're left trying to maybe play the buyout market, looking for a big man to add to their roster. Clearly something that they need. Again, the Hornets, I would have to imagine it was probably something where they saw something in his future and thought maybe it's not as big of a deal as the Lakers thought. Also keep in mind, he is currently healthy right now. I would expect him to be playing for the Hornets as soon as he is able, as soon as he's officially back with the team. I would assume that he'll go back to playing basketball. Now, that would be one. If he returns to the Hornets and immediately is out due to injury, then that's a completely different story. And that's where we can start looking at the Hornets and say, what were you trying to pull here? But who is to blame in this unfortunate situation? Again, fans of both sides are disappointed that this did not go down. Maybe I'm overly optimistic about all of this. Maybe I'm too trusting, but I don't think anybody's at fault here. I don't think anybody is necessarily to blame. But everybody give me your thoughts in the comments down below. What do the Lakers do now? What are they going to do now with only Jackson Hayes as a true center on their active roster? You've got a few two-way players in Trey Jemison and Christian Koloko, but that's it for the center spot. What do they do now? And what about the Charlotte Hornets? Are they now stuck with Mark Williams? Is he a lemon? Could they potentially trade him in the summer? And at that point, what kind of price tag are they actually going to get for him, given the issues that they've now had in trading with the Lakers? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Until next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.